Hello everybody and welcome to another tutorial. This tutorial is about getting Adam to life. I'm gonna use ARCore to do that. You can see the end product, how it looks like. Okay, so let's jump into it. I already downloaded ARCore package and import it. It's really easy. You just go to this website. I'm gonna put the link in the description, and you download the Unity package. You just click on it and it downloads. Right, and then you import it and you will have these files in here. And then you need to just type in Adam and you will have this as the first result. And let's go ahead and import it. You'll notice that there are a lot of folders. The only thing that we want is the Adam folder, which has the Adam mesh and its textures. So let's import only that. We imported the Adam folder, and it's here. You can see it. One thing to do immediately is that these textures are really high definition, and so I would like to go to the Android and override and choose 1000 is good enough. Because if you don't do this step, the end application will be like 120 megabytes. This will reduce it to maybe 40 megabytes or something. Of course, the resolution of the textures will be less, but that's good enough for purpose of the video at least. The other thing is that we need to switch the platform to Android. Okay, now so you can see that we switched to the Android. Another thing is that we have some settings that we should apply. So you can see in this page, the player settings, other settings, multi-threading render should be disabled. Just name the package, and you have to have the minimum API to be 7, and the target API as well to be 7 at least, and to enable the ARCore support. So we go to Edit, Project Settings, Player, and we'll go to enable the ARCore support, and to go to the other settings. You can name it whatever you want. And you have to have at least the Noga. You can leave this automatic. It will do the highest, or the highest of what you have in your SDK, in your Android SDK. And also the multi-threading rendering should be off. So that's gonna be it for the preparations. It's worth noting that the number of devices supported by ARCore are limited, and so not all the Android devices will work, and you can check that online. Now we can go to Google ARCore examples and Hello AR scene. Just go there and you will have something like this. Let's go ahead and check this code here, which by default track the surface, and when you click it puts this green Android thingy. So we need to modify this code. So we need to go to the update function, and you will see that when the in the hit is a feature point, which are these blue dots that appear on non-flat surfaces sometimes. Then they assign the prefab to be the blue android, and else if else here means if you touch on a flat surface, which is like a floor, then you assign the green android to it. What we are going to do is to use this else to spawn Adam if he doesn't exist, and to move him to that point that we clicked on if he does exist. So what we are going to do is drop in Adam here right now, and let's create, make sure that you assign this animation to it, and let's create the script Adam behavior. So in this script we are going to create a public function that we can call from the previous script, the ARCore one. So we're gonna say public void go to, and it's gonna take the position that we are gonna go to. First thing is that we need to make the y of the position equals to 0 to make sure that it's on the same y as Adam. And then we need to rotate Adam towards that point. So we're going to say transform.look at position. And then we can create a boolean move to, let's call it, equals to false, and then when we want to go there we're gonna set it to true. Okay, and this, we will use this in the update to check and to check if Adam reaches the point or not. So we're gonna say and vector3 dot distance between the position of Adam and the position of sorry, the position, damn it, between the position of Adam and the target position. We didn't declare what is target, so it's going to be vector3, and we're going to set target equals position. Okay, if he is moving and the distance gets less than 0.5, we are going to stop from moving. Equals false, and also we need to set the animation to be false. So we're gonna create a public animator we're gonna set it through the inspector. So when we do this, when we want to go, we're gonna set a boolean, which is, let's say it's called move. We're gonna do that in a bit, to be true, which will trigger the animation and Adam will move. And when we reach the point, we're gonna set it to false. You can do all the setup without the move too. It's just that when you do this, then this if statement will not keep on triggering. So it will trigger only once and then it will stop. You can even also experiment with this. I think even 0.2 is fine. So let's save this and let's go back to the animation, the animator, and you'll see that it goes immediately to the walking. We don't want that. We want to go to Adam just standing there. We don't have this. We don't have this animation, so we're gonna create it. So we create it by clicking on Adam walk and adding a new animation. Let's call it standing, and you just need like three keyframes where his legs are on the ground. Make sure that you don't have the loop time and click apply. So now we will create an empty and we're gonna set it to standing, and we're gonna make it the default. So when you click stop, it will be just like that. So then we need a parameter which we were talking about, which is, we called it move, and then you create a transition between this one and that one and one back. So going this direction, you need to be, you will have the move to be true, and just tick this so it doesn't need to finish, and then this one the same thing, but move needs to be false. So when it is false, then it will go back to just standing and no exit time. So if you keep the exit time, he will finish the whole, even if move is false, he needs to finish the whole animation until he stops, if that makes any sense. So now we are going to attach the animator. Now we will go back to this script where we didn't change anything actually. So the first thing is we need a public game object. You can use the ones that they are using, but I'm just gonna create one. Let's call it Adam, and we're gonna create a Adam behavior, which is the script that we created. We're just gonna when the first time we instantiate an object from Adam, we're gonna connect this to the instance of Adam behavior on the object that we instantiated. So we will go to this else, and we're gonna put all the code in it. We don't need this, or actually let's just move it here, and we don't need this. We don't need this. Nor these. So now we can say game object. Oh, so first we will check if the Adam behavior reference is equals to null. This means that we didn't instantiate an object from Adam before that. So we are going to instantiate one. And then we are going to instantiate the Adam object in hit dot pose dot position and hit dot pose dot rotation, And this code will be the same. As far as I understand, this creates an anchor, which is a position or an object that is connected to the plane that ARCore detects, so that when you move your camera, it stays there and stuff. And you make it the parent of the object that you instantiated. We also need to say Atom behavior equals to, and the object dot get component Atom behavior. So this will get the reference of Atom behavior component on the Atom object that we instantiated. So the next time when you click, this won't be none. And so else would be to call the function that we created in Atom behavior, which is goTo. And we are going to hit dot pose dot position. Okay, so we don't need to make the y 0. This will work fine. So let's just save and go back to the editor. Now we have this this setup here. Make sure that the apply root motion is clicked, and we assigned the animator in here. And we just need to put it, I already put it here as a prefab, and then you need to delete it from here and to assign it here to the Atom variable. Of course you can delete all these variables, but I'm just doing the fast thing. Also in the animator, you can notice that he's doing this, he's moving his legs and then starting to move, which means that we should take this pose rather than this pose in the in here in Atom walk animation. This one we need to go to here where his right leg is behind and his left leg is in the front. So let's just apply that and check it out. Now you can see that it's going well. Let's see the other one. And he stops. Amazing. Yeah. So we are done with the behavior now. The only thing missing is the shadow. So let's put the Atom prefab back and let's go to it. And we need to have a plane, right, that will cast the shadow. So we're gonna go for plane and reset this, maybe a little bit bigger, and no collider. And for the shadow material that I used is from GitHub, is from this page. You can see it makes everything transparent, but it casts the shadow. And you can download it from here, or you can just go immediately to the shadow drawer.shader, and you can select draw, and then you can select everything, copy, and you go back to Unity and create a shader. Anything will do. Shadows, you can name it whatever you want, and just replace everything with that, and then create a material out of it and drop it on the plane. And make sure that the light has soft or hard shadows as you want. You can see that it's really bad, the quality, so you can use the highest quality. And to make the shadow more transparent, you can change the alpha in the material. So let's make it something like this, and then you can put it as a child. And also you need the plane to be around 0.05, because when the animation of Adam is playing, he moves on the y-axis just a little bit, and so this plane start to conflict with the detected surface by ARCore, and you will see some weird behaviors. So when you put Adam this way, this plane will cast the shadow, and also it will hide the surface generated by ARCore. So now it's working now if you want to build it, but we still have the last thing, which is making Adam look always towards the camera. So we do that using inverse kinematic. And so what we need to do is in the animator, the layer, and then the settings, you need to let the IK pass on. So that's one thing. The other thing is there is a script which tells Adam to use the IK and what is the target IK. This script is provided by Unity. I just copied it from the website. You can find everything you want to know about IK in here. So you can do look at, and you can do follow by the hands. So I'm just gonna copy this code and go back to Unity. You need to make a script here. Let's call it IK Adam. We will open it, and remember that the name of the class must be the same as the name of the folder. So this script will automatically get the reference of the animator, and then we just need to tick this IK active and set the look object. And since that it's a prefab, so we can't reference something in the scene. So to do that, we are going to set it here in the start. So the look object is going to be equal to camera.main.transform. And this is going to get the transform of the main camera immediately, and it will assign it to look object. So now there is something about this character that isn't really right. So if you don't do this step, you will have a weird follow face. So what I did is, in the rig, I did configure and save the scene, and then what you need to do is choose the head and get the parent of the head to be the head, and just apply. And done. And we should be all good to go. You can test it. And it's working pretty good. So now So now it's working pretty good. Now the only thing that I did also is the tick box or checkbox to disable the look at, and I'm gonna disable and enable the look at by using the back key on the Android. So to do that, I'm just gonna go back to the IK Atom. We're gonna create an update function, and if input dot get key down, key code dot escape, we are going to trigger the IK active to be equals to not IK active. So if it is true, it will become false. If it is false, it will become true. So let's save that. And also you need to remove this piece of code, because they already put this as, if you click back, it will click the application. So we don't need that. Let's save, click apply, delete, save, and we are all good to go. So now you can build your application and have fun with it. So that's gonna be it for this tutorial. Thank you for watching, and hit the subscribe button to see the latest videos, and click the like button if you like this video.